It's easy to get hypnotized by the knockouts, the spinning elbows, the brutal ground and pound, the roar of the crowd when the ref waves it off and someone's hand is raised in victory. The highlight reels, the post-fight callouts, the championship belts, they all shine bright. But behind the blood and glory of MMA, there's a world most people never see. A world that's raw, painful, deeply real. Before the bright lights of the arena, there's a fighter. Unknown, often unseen, running in silence at dawn, sparring with swollen eyes, wrestling through exhaustion, cutting weight while fighting off hunger and dehydration. This sport demands everything, not just your strength, but your sanity. Not just your body, but your soul. MMA isn't about being violent, it's about being disciplined, controlled. A master of your mind as much as your movement. To those who don't understand it, it can look like chaos. But to those inside it, it's the most honest thing they've ever known. Fighters don't just fight opponents. They fight doubt, pressure, financial stress, injuries, anxiety. They fight the voice in their head telling them to quit, and yet they keep going. Day after day, round after round. That's what separates a fighter from everyone else. Some get into MMA chasing dreams of greatness. Some do it because it's the only place they've ever felt like they mattered. Others step into the cage not because they want to fight, but because life has been fighting them, and this is how they fight back. They don't just train to win, they train to survive, to evolve, to stay ready. Because in MMA, everything can change in a second. One slip, one punch, one takedown, and it's over. And for those of you following us and staying connected to this world, thank you. Seriously. You're not just here for the knockouts, you're here for the story, for the struggle. For the fire that lives behind every jab, every clinch, every scream in the corner between rounds. Your support means more than you know. Because behind every fighter is a storm of sacrifice. Families left behind to train in another city, birthdays missed, relationships strained, bodies pushed past the point of safety. All for the chance to stand in that cage and prove that the hours, the pain, the setbacks, they weren't for nothing. There are no guarantees in MMA. You can work harder than anyone and still lose. You can be more talented and still get caught. It's unforgiving, and that's what makes it real. The cage doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how your training camp went. It doesn't care if you were injured or tired or broke. It just asks you one question. Did you come to fight? And in answering that question, fighters learn who they really are. The cage reveals everything. Your fears, your limits, your grit. It humbles you, exposes you, and if you survive it, it changes you. Fighters don't just fight to win, they fight to grow, to test themselves, to find the edge of what they thought they could do and push past it. That's the quiet glory most people miss. The belts and bonuses are great, but the real win, it's walking away knowing you didn't fold when it got hard. It's showing up again when your body says no. It's becoming someone your past self wouldn't even recognize. So next time you watch a fight, look past the blood. Look past the crowd noise and the walkout songs. Look into the fighter's eyes. See the fire, the fear, the focus. That's what MMA is. Not a sport, a calling, a lifestyle, a constant test of who you are and who you're becoming. The blood washes off. The glory fades. But the lessons, the scars, the hunger, that stays forever. But even with all the pain, all the chaos, there's a strange kind of peace inside the cage. It's quiet in a way the outside world never is. No phones, no bills, no drama, just instincts and will, just the sound of your breath, the weight of your opponent, and the rhythm of survival. In that moment, everything else disappears. That's part of the addiction. It's not just about winning. It's about feeling alive in a way nothing else gives you. For some fighters, that's the only place they feel in control. The only place they don't have to pretend. Out there, life is complicated. In the cage, it's simple. Fight or don't. The sacrifice isn't just physical. Fighters deal with mental battles that most fans never hear about. Depression, self-doubt, identity crises. What happens when your body starts to break down, but your mind still burns with ambition? What happens when the wins stop coming, and all you've ever known is fighting? Some fighters keep going past their prime, not because they can't walk away, but because they don't know how. The cage became their home, their therapist, their battlefield. Walking away feels like walking away from themselves. That's the side of MMA that doesn't make the headlines. The emotional bruises, the silent recoveries, the fighters who retire without a payday, without recognition, and without a plan. But they're just as much a part of this sport as the champions. There's beauty in the struggle, honor in the attempt. Whether it's the main event on a UFC card or the first amateur fight in a local gym, every fighter who steps into the cage is carrying something heavy and choosing to fight anyway. And it's not just the fighters who make this sport what it is. It's the coaches who stay late, the training partners who bleed with you, the cutmen who keep you going between rounds, the small-town promoters, the families watching nervously from the crowd. This sport is built on community, even in a game that looks like it's one-on-one. That's the irony of MMA. It's one of the loneliest journeys you'll ever take, but no one makes it alone. So if you train or you fight, or you just feel something when you watch, know this: you're part of it. This is your sport too. Whether you're lacing up gloves or sitting in the cheap seats, your energy feeds the fire. And if you're still reading this, you're one of the real ones. The ones who get that MMA is deeper than wins and losses. Thank you for riding with us, for seeing past the surface and honoring the heart behind the fight. Because in the end, that's what this is all about. Heart, not hype, not stats, just people, putting it all on the line for something they believe in. The blood, temporary. The glory, fleeting. But the heart behind it all, that's forever.